That's about how long I can do that without being sued. Hello everyone, thank you again so much for joining me back here today. Today I want to talk about the latest internet phenomenon, Baby Yoda. I thought it was really bizarre, all these people going crazy about Baby Yoda. There have been cute things in popular culture before, but this seems to have gone to a whole other level. I thought to myself, this has to be more than just a fad. There has to be some substance here that actually resonates with people. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Now, before you accuse me of piggybacking on the latest internet trend, you're absolutely right. If we're all being honest, we know that Baby Yoda was invented for one reason, and one reason only. I have very little doubt in my mind that Disney told the creators of The Mandalorian,
what can you do here? Can you give me a character that we can make a cute toy out of? Sure, yeah, I think we can do that. He's gotta be really cute, like really stinking cute. I don't know if we can do that without creating a character that doesn't contribute to the show in a substantial way. I don't care. But I don't care. Money.
If I had to guess, that's exactly how that conversation went. But major props to the writers. They took this opportunity and they went with it. And they went a long way with it. They took Baby Yoda and turned him into a storytelling device that took the show and made it blow up. The show really is a better show for it. So without droning on too much longer, here's how Baby Yoda can make you a better writer. If you haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, maybe don't watch this video. If you haven't seen The Mandalorian and don't plan to, watch the video anyway. There's going to be tips in here that'll help your writing. But before I jump into the actual episodes, I want to go into a little bit about what Baby Yoda is. Baby Yoda is a foil. A foil is a character who brings out certain qualities in another character. He contrasts with another character so starkly, so dramatically, that it really brings out qualities in another character that you wouldn't naturally see just by looking at them. This is primarily done through Baby Yoda's personality. You see Baby Yoda act a certain way, and then the Mandalorian responds to it. And over the course of the show, he drastically changes. This is one of the most crucial things about this show. The Mandalorian is not a very dynamic character. At least he doesn't seem to be. He's always wearing the helmet. Without the look on his face, you miss one of the most powerful qualities in film. The writers needed a better way to develop Mando. Baby Yoda is the perfect way to do this. Fun fact, the word foil comes from backing gems with foil to make them shine more brightly. That should give you a little better idea of what Baby Yoda truly means to the Mandalorian. He takes the Mandalorian and makes him shine brighter. He becomes a more interesting character, and to do that with nothing but a puppet who doesn't speak, that's something truly special. I have so much respect for the writers of The Mandalorian. It's really difficult to take a protagonist that you can't really see, and then a protagonist that doesn't even speak, and make them work together in such a perfect way. So here we go. Episode 1, the child, Baby Yoda, pops up just at the end of the episode, but it does something powerful here. This is one of Baby Yoda's greatest contributions to this show. Baby Yoda serves as a catalyst. He's the whole reason for the story. The story of The Mandalorian doesn't really kick in until Baby Yoda. He would have just gone his entire life being a normal bounty hunter, but he saves the child's life, and he even seems to be fascinated by it. The other reason why Baby Yoda is so important in this episode is it becomes a Save the Cat moment. For those of you who don't know, Save the Cat is a book by Blake Snyder. It was originally written for screenwriters, but it's applicable to book authors as well. Basically, Save the Cat is a principle in which you take a character near the beginning of the story and you instantly make him likable by doing something very empathetic, like saving a cat. Shameless self-plug. I did this exact same thing in my book, The Light Thief. Anaya, the main character, starts out as someone you don't particularly like, but she takes sympathy on a poor hungry girl and gets food for her. Anyway, in the second episode, Baby Yoda serves a different purpose. Intrigue. Now before this point, there was this natural question about whether or not this creature could have the same powers as the actual Yoda. And this episode confirms it. He's force sensitive, maybe a little more so. And you can't help but wonder, what is this kid really capable of? In episode 3, things come back down a little bit. We're reminded that this is a job. The Mandalorian still plans to take Baby Yoda and turn him back into the client. We're harshly reminded of this early in the episode when Baby Yoda starts fooling around and the Mandalorian forcibly picks him up and moves him. You can see the impatience in the Mandalorian's hands, the way he moves. This is not the action of a father who loves his child. This is someone who's annoyed. It isn't until later in that episode when the Mandalorian decides to take action, when he starts to realize that maybe he cares for this child a little more than he thought he did. In episode 4, The Seven Samurai. In episode 4, The Magnificent Seven, the Sanctuary? In episode 4, The Sanctuary, Mando begins to treat Baby Yoda as something more of a companion. He speaks to Baby Yoda. It's here that Baby Yoda serves yet another purpose. The first, obviously, is exposition. The viewer is finding out the Mandalorian's reasons because he's literally explaining them to Baby Yoda, but it also, of course, fleshes out the relationship between Baby Yoda and Mando. Episode 5 serves as a birth for a new relationship between Baby Yoda and Mando. When Mando goes to take care of some business, he leaves Baby Yoda behind in his ship. A woman that Mando has entrusted to repair his ship finds Baby Yoda and is, of course, concerned for the child's safety. When Mando comes back, the woman scolds him. She straight up tells him, "This is not how you take care of a child." It's at this point, I believe, that Mando really begins to understand the responsibility that he's taken on. He's shown what it really means to take care of a child. And in episode 6, the episode where Baby Yoda probably has the least screen time outside of episode 1, Mando really begins to see this child as his child. He takes the little lever thing that the child was playing with earlier, unscrews the little ball that Baby Yoda was so fascinated with, and gives him the ball to play with. That was a really cool moment, and despite Baby Yoda's very limited screen time in this episode, it was my favorite moment. Alright, episode 7. The first half was really rough. The pacing was all over the place, the writing was not that great. I was not super excited. The second half was fantastic. The second half got me so excited, I finished the episode, closed the window, grabbed my phone, and started recording. One of Baby Yoda's first interactions with the Mandalorian in this episode is yet again highlighting the fact that the Mandalorian, while he's making an effort to treat this child as his child, he's not ready to be a father. He goes down to the lower level of his ship with Kara, who asks, "Is he gonna be all right up there?" And he says yes, leaving the child alone in the cockpit of a spaceship. Mando is not ready to have kids. So he leaves Baby Yoda up there, and of course it doesn't take long. The kid grabs the controls, and sure enough, the ship is going crazy. It was an interesting little section. It was kind of cool. What I'm about to bring up, I did not enjoy. It is one of the points of the show that I really did not like. In this part, Baby Yoda is used as a foil again, but not in a good way. Not in a way that would actually develop a character. So Mando, Cara, Queel, and Baby Yoda are downstairs. Mando is arm wrestling with Cara, and then all of a sudden, Baby Yoda, he sees Mando struggling against Cara to win this arm wrestling match, and he uses the Force to start choking Cara. The one thing I really like about this scene is that it shows the potential for Baby Yoda, not as a character, but as a weapon. It forces you to wonder, what could someone do if they got their hands on him? It really is a scary thought, and it makes you all the more grateful for Mando for stepping in and taking the child and caring for him. Everything else about the scene? No good. It was the most awkward exchange imaginable. Cara, of course, immediately freaks out. "This kid was choking me." I don't really blame her, but she's got to remember, this is a kid. Out of all of them, she seems to understand most that Baby Yoda is a child. But after all that she said in episode 4 about how Baby Yoda needs to be a child and he can actually be a kid here, that all goes out the window. And I get that the child attacked her, but even as an ex-shock trooper, she should understand that this is a child and therefore would have no real discretion when it came to his abilities. And then of course you got Queel coming in saying, "Your interaction with the Butthorn makes more sense now," or something along those lines. So you got Mando who's freaking out at Cara, who's freaking out at Queel, and then of course the droid walks in and Mando hates droids. It just feels like a bunch of forced conflict all at the same time. It was the most unnatural point of this episode and really of the entire show. Least favorite scene, easily. To make matters worse, this introduces a continuity error. In episode 4, when Mando first meets Cara, they duke out. They go outside and have a beatdown. And then Baby Yoda just comes out sipping on his little soup and doesn't really care. It was a very charming moment. It really showed his innocence. In episode 7, on the other hand, Baby Yoda seems to have no discretion. He doesn't realize that Cara is a friend. It's just a really weird continuity issue that would have been better if they had just skipped entirely. Later in the episode, Baby Yoda seems to be used to expand the universe a little bit. We see Baby Yoda do something that has been seen very little in the Star Wars canon. Granted, it's been shown in the expanded universe. I had to do a quick search on this, to be honest. But from what I could find, there's been very few instances of anyone using the Force to heal someone. And that's what Baby Yoda does. He uses the Force to heal Greef's lethal wound, and save his life. There's that little part in episode 4 when Obi-Wan seems to revive Luke using the Force, but other than that, in the official canon, I couldn't find anything. So take that for what you will. I thought it was pretty cool. As for the rest of episode 7, there wasn't really much about Baby Yoda, so I'll just say I'm really excited for this now. The second half of the episode really took off, big time. But that's it, guys. That's The Mandalorian as it stands right now, and how Baby Yoda really takes The Mandalorian to a whole nother level. These are all ways that Baby Yoda has contributed to the success of The Mandalorian. These are all techniques that you can put into your writing to make a better story. Thank you all for listening, and as a further thank you for all the love and support, my book, The Light Thief, is going to be on sale on Amazon for 99 cents for another few days. Originally, it was just supposed to be 99 cents for the first week, but it's been out for about a week and a half now, and I've really felt the love. So go check it out, guys. I promise I haven't forgotten about all your comments suggesting the kind of videos you want me to do. Thanks for that, by the way. But I wanted to pump this video out first because I was so excited about it. So I'll see you in a few days, probably with a video about the books that have inspired me most as a writer. Until then, get some writing done. I have spoken. If this is riding the coattails of the success of The Mandalorian, then call me a guy who rides on the tails of coats. Yeah.